Well, hello there. It's Wise Women's Wednesdays. Come on in. You can see I didn't stir that very well. Come on in, y'all. I'm looking for you. Where is everyone? Come on down. Here we go. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. There's my girl Cassie. It's time for lunch, isn't it? And Vanessa. Yay. How fun is that? I love seeing all you guys come in. Come on in. The water's fine. It's Wise Women's Wednesdays. This is our favorite day because we're going to be wise and really evaluate where we all are and how we're getting things done. Yay. So I don't know where all my stuff is, but I can't find my quote. I can't find anything. So I'm looking for my quotes right now. And anybody see it? The quote of the day? Do you know what it is? Okay, I'm going to find it. There is Jan from Texas coming on in. Where is everybody else? Huh? I don't see you. Do you see you? There's Deborah. Hi. Come on in, you guys. We got things to do. We have things to discuss. We've got things going on, and I've got all kinds of what do you call it on my radar here. And there's Mary Ann too. Yay! Come on down. Come on down. Hi, Marty and Courtney. Look at all you lovelies coming on in. I got some new first-time sprinters here too, which is fantastic. Marty's in Mississippi. Mississippi. Oh, Lisa, I'm so glad to hear that. She said she's done with the keto flu. Yay. Hi, Carolyn and Susie. Come on in, you guys. Good to see everybody. And Susan's in the house. Alrighty, well, let's take a look, see at what we've got going on. You know that this Friday, that's just a couple of days away. Guess what's happening this Friday, guys? It's Q&A day. And so far, I've only got 2 little questions, but I bet you have a question. All right? You want to send it in to me? I would love it. Send it into support@savingdinner.com. In the subject line, you just say question for Leanne on Friday. I will answer it here. There's my girls Sue and Cindy and Jane. Hi guys. I love seeing you all come in here. This is a time for us to kind of regroup for a minute and get on with our day and get on with take something out of here and do something fun. I love that you're here, Eunice and Heidi. There's my girl Marianne. So as I think about Wise Women's Wednesdays, I think about when we think about our thinking, I told you about that yesterday. Hi, Amy, Gwen, Mimi. When you think about your thinking, you think, what am I thinking exactly? And is this working in my life? Is this helping to create the life that I want to lead? Always we ask that question, don't we? It's such a good question. I think it's such a basic thing that we need to do because it pulls us out and makes us say, hey, 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 look, Bobby's here. I'm so glad to see you, Bobby. It makes us say, come on, what's going on here? Wake up, smell the coffee. Quit living your entire life on autopilot. We want certain things in our lives naturally on autopilot, don't we? But everything, we lose sight of the precious moments. We lose sight of those things that stir us and make us so glad to be a human being. Autopilot is a blessing for certain things, and we certainly want to take some of those things out of autopilot and put some new habits in there, don't we? This is why we create routines. This is why we elevate them to the place of ritual, and it helps us to get things done. But we also need to be taking a look at how we can just completely lose sight of what's going on in our lives. Autopilot is a wonderful thing, and it helps us get through the mundane things that we just have to do. I don't know about you, but I don't have self-cleaning toilets. Those toilets need cleaning. And I don't need to be in front of mind to know that, oh, look, here's a toilet brush, and here I go, I'm scrubbing my toilet. I don't need to be in that place. I want autopilot for that stuff. But living in the moment, living with my, with Mark, living with my family, my children, my friends, my community, I want to be present. I want to be in there. I want to embrace all of it. I want a juicy, wonderful, vibrant life. Autopilot won't do that for you. It'll just get you to the place where suddenly you're going, wow, is that all there is? It's not all there is. We can always have more, but it takes a concerted effort to go from autopilot zone into I am present, I am here. And I love that it's called the present for a reason. It's a gift. Not everybody has that gift. There are people right now on their deathbeds wishing they had the time that you had right now, wishing that they hadn't spent their time just on autopilot, and looking back and thinking about all the stuff they whined and complained about. So bringing ourselves to the present moment and understanding that, yes, some things we put on autopilot and some things we put on the present moment. It makes such a difference because life suddenly starts to become richer. Life suddenly starts to become juicy and flavorful and yummy, and we look forward to things like getting together with friends and just having dinner out with a couple of friends is just is an occasion. It's not about those momentous, I should say, occasions. It's not about the weddings and the graduations and all of that. It's the dailiness of life. It's the dailiness of life. And when we can grab those moments and say, isn't this just great? Didn't you just have a wonderful time? Don't you just love her? And if that's the way that we are, and if this is the way that we're handling things, and we're just going yum, 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 everything changes. Everything changes. And I talked to you before, I think probably last week or whatever, and talking about being instead of being outcome oriented, we're identity oriented. We're identity focused. And we want to focus on our character because it's not about just those, size 6 jeans or whatever, but it's about becoming a healthy person, an identity of somebody who has a healthy lifestyle. That's your identity. I eat healthy food. I move my body. I think healthy thoughts. I have a healthy, vibrant, exciting, community-oriented life. If our identity is on that stuff, our identity feeds us and it becomes who we are, and it's rich and it's wonderful. It's so much better than just an outcome. An outcome is just, that's something that you get. It's a consequence of doing things, of course. But if we're outcome oriented, we're missing out on the journey. Because I'll tell you, we are going to get to that certain place, aren't we? Because we're working it hard and every day we're present, we're in the moment. We are going to get to that place. But if all we can see is that outcome that's at the end, we miss out on the identity properties, the stuff that's molding us, the stuff that's causing us to be created into a whole new person, that's giving us new character, that's making us understand that the promises that we make to ourselves are just as important as the promises we make to our spouse when we get married. We get married, we make promises and vows. When we have children, we're making a promise to them just by virtue of the fact that they show up, that we are going to be their parents. We are going to take care of them. We are going to be the people that have their backs forever and ever, even when the rest of the world turns on them. As parents, we don't do that because we love our children, right? Here it is. If we looked only on our outcomes, we miss out on the journey. We miss out on the present. We miss out on every single time, every single moment, every single little juicy tidbit that happens along the way. And there are lessons galore there. This is how we learn from our experiences instead of being punished by them. This is how we take the emotion out of those experiences and say, that happened, but here's the learning piece, because we can examine it. We can be analytical about it. And we don't have to get all down in the dumps and like, oh, this is the end of the world and I can't do this and I just this, that, and the other thing. No. We're instead being being the CPA, if you will, of we're looking at the books. It's about balancing numbers. It's about balancing the things. You know, how helpful is that? I will tell you, for me, changed my life because I stopped beating myself up. Instead, I was looking for the lesson. I was looking to see exactly what's going on here so that I can say, I'm going to grab this experience out of this and have that lesson be learned. So you can take it from over here and move it into the learned place. And when you're in the learned place, you can get the rubber stamp out and go, lesson learned, right? Lesson learned. And when your lesson is learned, guess what else happens? You move on. Finally, you're not repeating the same thing over and over again. You don't need to do that. You simply need to be analytical and, critical. But when I say critical, I'm saying constructively critical so that you can figure out what the heck went on here. Why is this thing happening? Because the carousel of crazy is the same thing over and over again. The carousel of crazy keeps us in the weight loss up and down thing, and it keeps us spinning around and keep thinking that, oh, it's just not, as soon as I get that right diet, as soon as I get that right exercise program, I just haven't found it yet. Come on. It isn't that at all. You know what it is? You simply haven't learned your lesson. You haven't taken the time to look back, and this is one of the only times where I say, look back and see what this experience taught you. When we're little kids, we learn right away, don't we? We learn right away that if we put our hand on a hot stove, it's going to burn us. We learn that lesson quickly, and we're not apt to do it again. Well, there's a lot of hot stoves out there, and there's a lot of opportunity for us to learn the lessons from those hot stoves. So if you keep doing the same thing, like buying a new diet book, buying a new exercise program, doing this and buying a magical supplement that's supposed to change your life, if you keep doing these same things, you're not learning from that experience, because that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about at all. You know what it is? It's about seeing where the lesson is and then applying that into today's world for yourself and figuring out that you are no longer outcome oriented, but instead you are identity oriented. My experience has shown me X. My experience has shown me this. I will no longer do this. I will always do that. And I think that nevers and always sometimes, not when you're communicating with somebody, of course, but when you are looking at your food eating stuff, if you have food addictions, if you have binges, if you're just like hooked on sugar and have these different things, to play with the words everything in moderation is a super lie. And I know I'm going off a little bit on a tangent, but honestly, we keep playing with that, don't we? Well, they say that everything in moderation, they say we can do that. I'm being given permission. There's books out there that are titled this. There are nutritionists who absolutely 100% stand behind it. And I'm going to tell you right now, for me and for most of you who are right now who are watching, it just plain doesn't work. It just plain doesn't work. If that were the truth, you could keep a bag of little baby Snickers on your countertop in your kitchen and pass them by every time. I'm so sorry. It doesn't work. Why do they say that when we tell alcoholics never touch another drop of alcohol again? Can't you see the correlation? There is a definite correlation. We can't do it. So I'm giving you permission to say, always do this, and I never do that. I always eat healthfully. I never touch sugar because it hasn't ever worked for you in the past. Here you go. Here's your identity. Your identity is one of being healthy. Your identity is one of being caring and nurturing for your body. Your identity is away from these experts who are trying to lead you down this garden path of moderation only that just plain doesn't work. And it just makes me so mad. Can you tell? It makes me so mad. We would never do that to an alcoholic, would we? Would you ever go to an alcoholic and say, hey, here, just one little drink won't hurt? Would you do that? A raging alcoholic, if you've ever been raised in a home with an alcoholic, you understand, or have been around people who've been in alcoholics or been in Al-Anon or whatever. I've done all of that stuff. But would you ever do that to somebody like that? And yet we've got this whole posse of nutritionists and experts who are all saying this is a thing to do. And I'm going to tell you, as a wise woman, from one way, never is that ever an option, ever. And you need to never yourself. This is how you get off the carousel of crazy. I never eat fill in the blank because it doesn't work for you. Remember we talked about the bowling alley? You take kids to a bowling alley and they've got those bumpers up and all of that so that they're not hitting gutter balls every time. Well, I am telling you, if you are hooked on sugar and somebody's telling you sugar in moderation only, it's like they took the bumpers up and you are a 3-year-old in a bowling alley. Gutter ball every time. I promise you, gutter ball every single time. It doesn't work for you, does it? It doesn't. I don't know that it ever will either. And you can play with it all you want. I'll tell you, I've played with it all. I played with that so many times. I have played with chocolate so many times. It's like a mouse playing with cheese right next to a mouse trap. And every single time I've gotten caught. Every single time. I binge on it. And I have to stop that. So how do I stop it? I abstain. Abstinence is a bad word apparently in the nutrition world, but it's a truth. And there are times when you just have to have a little come to Jesus with yourself and say, you know what? This just plain doesn't work. Wise women understand that. Wise women can evaluate and understand that. And you need to create your identity based on what works for you. The experts out there, oh my gosh, the experts out there, I want to wring their necks. I mean, they make me insane. You're the expert. You have your own inner nutritional guru. You need to wake her up. Wake up and smell the coffee or the green tea or whatever it is that you drink. I don't care. But wake up. What I'm telling you is for you. What I'm telling you is for you to take to the bank and base it on your experience and what works for you. And I'm telling you, your own inner nutritional guru will tap you on the shoulder and just say, it's just not right for you. She will. Honest. She will. You just have to start listening. It's like intuition. How many times have you been in this place where your intuition is just going off, but you ignore it? How many times have you done that? Have you made any kind of a correlation to that and tapped into that? And then later on you say, I don't know why I didn't listen to myself. We doubt ourselves. We put ourselves down and we think that everybody else knows. I mean, even to the point where somebody on television that we've never heard of is saying something, and so therefore that, okay, well then in that case, and your intuition's saying no. Your intuition's saying no. You see a post on Facebook, and you're going to go in there and talk to them about it, right? How does that work? How's that working out for you, as Dr. Phil would say? You know what the thing is? It doesn't. Your identity and the characteristics of who you are as a wise woman will show up if that's the stuff that you're nurturing. If you're outcome oriented and you're just listening to everybody else and you're letting them help you with your outcomes, it's the carousel of crazy for the rest of your life. I promise. And I have counseled hundreds, probably thousands of women. And I will tell you that the women that I see who succeed in their health goals, in their weight loss goals, in all of it. Remember, I've been a nutritionist since 1993. So I've been with a few women and have talked through all of this. Those women who are successful, they are women who I'm talking about. They're identity oriented. And they customize, they personalize, and they understand the things that work for them. And nobody can take them off their path. No one. So, this is what I want to say to you. I want you to see this for yourself. I want you to see, where is it that giving my power away to this supposed expert, guru, whatever, and not listening to myself. How wise is that? Your inner nutritional guru is listening, okay? You just need to listen to her. You just need to tap into that and understand 100% that the more you listen to that inner nutritional guru, the more you're going to be edging off of that carousel of crazy. She'll take you to the right place. I promise you. She will take you to the right place, and you will get to the place where your blood tests improve, where your gene sizes improve, and you're just done with having so much headspace taken up with this another stupid weight loss program. We don't need programs. You know what we need? We need our whole lives. We need to carve out exactly what it is that we want for our lives. And I promise you, I promise you, it's a matter of time before all of a sudden it clicks in and you get it, and you're strong and you're healthy and the whole world changes. That's what wise women do. Wise women work on their identities, not on their outcomes, their identities. Because at that point, it makes it so that you become the very best version of yourself. Because now you're looking at your character. You're not looking at your genes. You're looking at your character. Am I a woman who keeps my word? Am I a woman who's compassionate and a good friend? Do I keep my promises to myself? All of those things we have to look at. And we have to look at how do we get to the place of being that woman. And it starts with listening to that inner nutritional guru, listening to your intuition and trusting yourself and understanding that the power and the motivation and everything you need is already there. You know, it's already there. Isn't that a great thing to know? You don't have to go find it anywhere. It's not hidden under a rock somewhere. It's not suddenly going to open up out of the sky and hit you on the head like a 2x4. It's already there. I get asked all the time, well, what do you do for motivation? I'm not motivated. What do I do? And my answer is always the same thing. Motivation comes at the same time that you do something. You need to give motivation something to hang on. You know, it's like motivation is like trying to hang a picture up without a nail in the wall. The motivation comes from putting in that nail in the wall first, then hanging up the picture. You got to have a little movement. Movement makes for motivation. I promise you, hand to God. I've seen it every time. I've done it. So if you're stuck and you just can't keep moving, get up and just do something anyway. I dare you. Double dog dare you even. Wise women understand this, right? Wise women make choices and flex their choice muscle every single day so that they can have the life that they totally want to have, and it could be yours in 2020. It's just time to understand that. It's time to be identity oriented instead of outcome oriented. It's time to understand that motivation comes when you do something. It doesn't come from sitting on the couch and watching Netflix or numbing out on a game on your phone. You know, you want to get sucked into the vortex of crazy and depressed and, you know, life's just crappy. That'll do it. But if you're ready to step out of it and you're ready to be an identity-oriented woman and ready to have your character brought into full fruition, ready to bloom and be the very best version of yourself that you can be, this is the path. This is what wise women do. And wise women are also in a community. And by the way, our sprint gals, bam! they're knocking it out of the park. It's so exciting to see. You can go to savingdinner.com and you'll see the sprint right there. Click on it and get it. It's free. 18 pages. Shows you how to do an anti-inflammatory thing. And oh, by the way, anybody who's interested, webinar's Thursday. That's tomorrow. Go to savingdinner.com/webinar. And there it is. There it is. And one last thing. those of you who are in my groups and you know all the things that we're doing and all the fun stuff that we're having, we are having a big time workshop here in Brevard. Here in Brevard, here in Brevard, here in Brevard. Is that exciting? It's going to be on April 18th, Saturday, April 18th. We'll have a little VIP mixer-upper, wine and appetizers and what have you. But I just want you to save the date. Go get a hotel, and it doesn't cost anything here in this area, or get together with a bunch of friends and decide this is something that you want to do and go get a Airbnb or something. But I hope you come. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see you too, Cassie. It's going to be a real fun time. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. And you guys are amazing and wonderful. And I know that we are all working on becoming wise women, aren't we? We're working on becoming wise women. We are a becoming project. So allow the process. Respect the process. Stop beating yourself up. Take a look at things and just say, you know what? This is just what it is. It's matter of fact. We're going to look at this. We're going to look at these past mistakes and we're going to get the experience out of it. Lesson learned. There's your rubber stamp right there. I love it. This is what we're going to be. These are the wise women that we are becoming. Peace, guys. Peace. And don't forget, sign up for that webinar. It's Thursday. SaveMeDinner.com/webinar. I will see you later. Bye-bye.